Hi everybody and welcome back to some more MotoGP 19 here on this channel, and welcome to the start of my career. This is episode 1. Now we're going to start off on the Red Bull rookie circuit and we're going to work all the way up to the GP bike. So I hope you join me on this epic journey. I'm going to be adding my own twist on this series with loads of live commentary. Please sit back and enjoy. Right, so here we go with the start of this awesome career. So we start off at the Red Bull Rookies Cup and then we're going to work all the way up to the MotoGP circuit. Now the Red Bull Rookies Cup is going to be 7 stages and they're all European circuits, so I'm really looking forward to this. And I think this is a good way to learn a game. So you start off on the lower power bikes and you move your way all the way up as you increase the difficulty and improve your skill. So let's get straight into this. Now this is your career HUD. And it looks like we're going to start off the first weekend in Spain. Now what I'm going to do for this, I think they're going to be 4-lap races, and I have put, I'm just going to do just qualifying. I'm not going to do all the practicing. I might do that and all the first, second and third practice sessions when we get onto the GP bikes, because you can alter that as you go through. Now all these research and development points are not going to be able to be spent on the Red Bull Rookie Cups, because you can't improve these bikes. Like I said, they're all the same, but you will be able to do that once you move up to Moto 3. So, and you've got a news feature here that you see about news flashes about stuff that's going on in the MotoGP world. Anyway, let's get straight into this. Really looking forward to this. We're going to be doing it on the Pro Physics, so let's get straight into it. Right, for the first race we're off to Spain and Jerez. That's an awesome circuit and it looks like we've got good conditions for the qualifying and the race. So we're going to jump straight into this. I'm really looking forward to this. So let's get straight into the qualifying session. So here we go. Right, so that's the first lap out of the way. We've got some heat in the tyres now and we've done a lap of the circuit. Let's see if we can push a little bit harder now and see if we can get a decent time on the leaderboard. I'm not sure how quick the AI are going to be. I've put the difficulty on 100%, but I will move it up as we go through if it's a little bit too easy. But it's a good starting point. So let's see if we can get a good sector here. The sector that I struggled on my first lap was sector 3. And we're up on the time, but I don't think many riders have put any times in at the moment. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's at the times. So 1:58 is the fastest so far. But as the riders go over the finish line, that will start going down. I think their lap times will be more around the 1:57, 1:56, if I remember rightly. Let's just try and hold it. Oh no, I've made a mistake. Oh, I've come off already. Right, so someone's just put a faster time in, so it's a 1:55.4 that we need to aim for, and we're nowhere near that at the moment, but we've still got, what, 9 minutes to go, so we should be able to get a faster lap in. Just getting used to the bike, and I've made a couple of alterations. It was understeering quite badly, so we've just altered that using the guided setup. I will start using the manual setups once I get used to the game. Oh, almost ran straight into that guy there, and we're up on the time at the first sector. That's always a good sign. Still struggling on sector 3, and as you saw a couple of laps ago, I came off at the corner that we're just coming up to. I just left the braking too late. That was my own fault, but hopefully we'll start getting used to our braking points. It's been a long time since I've raced around this circuit, especially on a MotoGP game, because as you know, I didn't do much on MotoGP 18 because I just thought it was terrible, but this game is showing a lot of positive signs. I've seen a few things so far on the first couple of hours of gameplay. I've seen a few glitches where the screen has frozen slightly during a race when someone's crashed. I've noticed that. And I had a race earlier on, and one of the riders was like about 100 metres in front of us on the grid. So I don't know what that's all about. These are just little things that I've started to notice already. And again, on that third sector, we're down on the time. Let's see if we can pick it up on the last sector. Let's see if we get a nice final corner. This corner can be a real difficult one, and we've run it a little bit too wide. It's gone too deep, and that's where we're losing a lot of time. And someone else has put a faster lap in, a 1:55.3, and I think this is going to be nowhere near. But oh, a 1:56.8. Well, that's moved us up to 4th position. Right, let's push one more lap on these tyres. They are starting to wear, and we might have to put another set on. and maybe come out. But so we're sitting in 4th. That's not the end of the world, and if we start in 4th on the grid, that'd be an okay position. We just have to do better in the race. But the AI seem to be pretty decent on 100%, but we will find out in the race. The conditions look like they're going to be the same, so these are sort of times that we've got to hit consistently. And again, we seem to be decent on that first sector, but we need to master sector 3. And let's just hold it a little bit tighter. And let's see if we can gain. Oh, there's no one in front of us. It would have been nice if we could gain a little bit of slipstream to improve our time on these knackered tyres. And I do like the feature of the tyres that you change. And that's what you've got to remember. When you do more practice sessions, you only get a certain amount of tyres, so you can't go and cane all your tyres, otherwise you go into the race with knackered tyres if you've got none left. But we will see. But at least in the Red Bull rookies, there's only one compound that you can use, and that is medium. So there's no strategy in that sense. And let's see if we can get a little bit better on this corner. This is the sector we keep on. Oh, and again, we're slower on that sector. It's just so difficult, especially on these tyres. I can feel the rear is not liking me leaning in too hard. And see, did you see that, guys? It glitches when people crash. And this is one thing I've noticed, especially when people crash in front of you. The game just freezes slightly for a split second. Hopefully they do patch that, because that is really annoying. And it does throw you out a bit, especially when you're turning into a corner and it does it. Right, that is not a bad turn there. This is going to be close to our fastest time. And is 155.8. I will take that, but still only 4th position. Right, so we qualified in 4th position after that qualifying session, and I think that's a good start. It's a decent position on the grid, so let's get straight into the race. The conditions are good. I'm going to push as hard as I can and hopefully get on the podium. So here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Jerez de la Frontera circuit. Just a few more minutes to wait before the Spanish Grand Prix finally begins. The weather forecasts are very reassuring. We'll have sunny weather for the entire duration of the race. We're now broadcasting from the starting grid where everything seems ready. It's always difficult to predict the results of a race like this, but the riders we're seeing right now definitely seem to be the favourites.
Right, so here we go with the start of the race, but before we start, we've got to change those tyres. And look at that, that tyre that I was using in that qualifying session literally had no grip at all. So let's put it back onto 100%. And let's get straight into this. Really looking forward to this. Let's see if we can get a good start. So here we go.
Just a few moments to go until the start of the Spanish Grand Prix. These riders know it will be vitally important to take the first curve perfectly.
Right, so here we go with the first race of our career in Spain around the Jerez circuit. From 4th on the grid, can we get a good start here? And off we go! And that was a terrible start. What the hell happened there? And we're being overtaken by everybody. We just didn't move. And that's not the greatest start. But anyway, let's just try and hold it nice around that first turn, a little bit wide, but we've got a good drive, so we should be able to make up a few places, a little bit of contact of a bike there. And again, we've gone a little bit wider. We've got literally, it doesn't feel very grippy starting off, but it takes a while to get some heat in these tyres. Right, that's not too bad. We've recovered a little bit. Can we move into P7 on the outside? Oh, another good drive through there, trying to go through the middle of them too. And we've managed to get through to the front. We can't afford to, oh, God dear, we're just being forced out. A little bit of contact there. Oh, my dear Lord. Don't you dare take me off at the start of this race. And we're losing a lot of ground from the riders in front, but we've managed to get into P5. Now, this is a dodgy corner. Let's just try and slow it down and try and get turned in nicely and back off the throttle and accelerate. Oh, that wasn't too bad. The tyres are starting to feel a little bit better now, but starting off, it just felt like I had no grip and it was a really poor start. And I didn't think the starts would be like that on this game, but it looks like the starts are very, very important. Right, let's just try and hold it nice and tight. Let's see if we can just catch up. We've still got a couple of riders behind us, but all the riders are starting to split up now, and it looks like it's these 4 that are going to be challenging us for the points. And again, that's a horrible corner. We seem to always struggle on that sector. We were doing the same in qualifying. Right, let's try and build it up through here. We need to latch on to P4 if we can and get some slipstream, because I think they've just pulled away from P4 now. So the three amigos in front are trying to move away from everyone else. And that's not too bad. Nice final corner. Can we get a decent drive? Yes, we have. We've got some slipstream as well. And we should be able to move into P4. And we have. Now that's the first lap out the way. Let's see if we can gain a little bit on P3. He's only a second in front of us. And that's a much better first corner. That is what we needed to do at the start of the race. But we just started really badly. Right, let's try and get a better turn into this one. And that was much nicer. Feeling a little bit more comfortable now the tyres have heated up. But I'll tell you what, in the longer races, tyre wear is going to be a major issue. Now I know what it feels like when the tyres are worn in the qualifying session. If you get that in a race, it's going to be tough to push. Now these bikes aren't going to be too bad because of their weight and their power, but when you get on the faster, more powerful bikes, it is going to be a major issue. Right, that's not too bad. We managed to get a good drive and getting a little bit of slipstream here. Can we take another place? But we're coming up to that tricky corner again. Right, slow it down and get it turned in. Oh, he's gone for a dive bomb. Oh, look at that. The AI dive bomb each other. And did he manage to take that position? No, he's just going side by side. He's in the inside. And yes, he's managed to take that position, but no. They two are having a right battle here. Right, let's just try and get amongst that and see if we can maybe profit from a overtake or some contact between them two. And I do like the way the AI do take risks. And again, he's trying for a move there, but he's a little bit too far away. Can we get a little bit? Oh, had to back off there. Almost ran straight into him. Right, let's see if we can get a little bit slipstream here and get a little bit better into this turn. This has been a much better lap. And this is where I've got to try and improve through here nicely. And we're building up a bit of speed. And we're coming towards the end of the second lap. Right, let's hold a decent position. And we've got a little bit too wide in that turn. But we should be able to get a good drive if we can gain some slipstream. And I think we are going to be able to. Yes! And we're going to get into P3. Awesome. And what's the lap time? And we've just hit a 154.7. Now that was nearly a second quicker than the fastest time in qualifying, so we're definitely on the pace, and I think that might even be the fastest lap time of the race at the moment, but we won't find that out until the end of the race. And again, we've just made a little bit of a mistake there, and oh god, onto the apex. Let's just try and keep it steady, and after 2 laps the tyre wear looks pretty decent, so we're not wearing the tyres out too much around here, so that is good. Right, so let's see if we can gain a little bit of time. Get nice and tight in. Oh, that was a much better corner. Ooh, do you see the rear there? Just trying to put the power down. Just didn't like that, but we've managed to just hold that position. Can we get past? This is all down to good braking here. Can we just hold that position and hold it? All going side by side. No, couldn't make it, and I think he's going to be able to take the inside into this next corner, but let's just try and hold a decent position. Or are we going to be able to cut through? No, he's having none of that, and he's gone back in front, but now we got the inside for the next left-hander here. Can we get... Oh no, we just couldn't get him to the side of him there and just hold him off, and he's managed to keep his position. So at least we're in a podium position, but we have still got a rider that's still quite close behind us in 4th. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, but we're sitting in a podium position, and that would be a great result. So we're better 1 position from our qualifying start, and that wasn't a great start either though, was it? Right, let's just see if we can just pick it up through here, and again get nice and tight through there, and let's see if we can just latch onto these two going into that final turn and slow it down. Again, we're just not getting our braking points right, and that's costing us quite a bit. We should be able to gain some slipstream on the straights, and this is where we need to try and make a move. And can we take second and going side by side into this corner? We might be able to take first. We're going in the inside, side by side. Can we hold it and accelerate? Yes, we've managed to take first position on the final lap, but we've got to try and hold on to it. So let's just try and keep it nice and tight through there. We're in mid corner there. We want to be closer to the apex there through that turn, and it sets you up nicely for this one, but that wasn't too bad. I will take that. That's a nice turn in there, keeping the lines nice and tidy through there. Let's see if we can do it again around this corner, and we're not going to push too hard and full throttle it, because like I said, the tyre wear is starting to go a little, and I just can feel the rear moving around a bit, but that wasn't too bad. Right, hopefully they're not close enough to get this slipstream. We're starting to pull away, but we've got to nail it around this corner. This can be a difficult one. And we've gone in there nice. And, oh God. Oh, I didn't think I was going to stop there, but just managed to get away with that. Right, sector 3 is where we lose time. So hopefully we can get through there a little bit better this time. Just got to nail these corners. It's going to take time to get used to the bikes, get the braking points on the circuits. It's been a while since I've been on the MotoGP circuits, as you can probably tell. And that's nicely done. And onto the apex, get it turned in. And oh, they've closed the gap slightly. It's only 0.6 now. So they've gained 0.3 on us since the last couple of corners. So we've got to make sure they don't get the opportunity to try and dive bomb us on the final corner. And that's nicely done. And I think we've got a decent enough gap. But can we nail this last corner? We can't muck it up here and get turned in. And that was nicely done. That is exactly what we needed. And they're not going to get any slipstream. And we're going to take a win in our first race in our MotoGP career on the Red Bull rookie circuit. Fantastic. And after that poor start, I cannot complain, but we hit a fantastic 154.7, which I think actually was the reason why we managed to win the race. We had that decent pace on lap 2, which put us in a great position. Right, let's get into the standings and see where we are. Right, so we take our first 25 points in this championship, and we've got another 6 rounds to go. But let's get straight into another race. But before we get into another race, I will put the AI difficulty up another 5% just to push the challenge. I mean, we weren't the fastest in qualifying, and we only managed to take first place on the final lap. We had a really poor start, but we'll bump it up another 5% and see how we go. And I will keep doing that until we get to a really good level. But I want to learn the game. That's why we started on the slower bikes, and we're moving our way up. Right, so let's get into the next round. I'm not sure where we go next. Hopefully it'll be another fantastic circuit. I think that Jerez circuit was a good one to start off on. Right, so we've earned some points, but we can't spend any of that on the research and development yet, because obviously you can't improve this bike. But we will be able to do that next. Oh, we go to Italy, so we've got Mugello. Oh, I love that circuit. And after watching the MotoGP at the weekend, what a fantastic race. I think every race was good. Moto3, Moto2 and the GP race. That final lap was fantastic. Right, let's get into changing the difficulty. So we're going to bump that up 5%. And hopefully that will improve the difficulty. And let's get straight into the qualifying in Italy. And this is going to be awesome. What a brilliant circuit. And, oh, we've got Assen next as well. Right, so let's get straight out on circuit. Now, looking at the weather conditions for the qualifying and the race, it's cloudy for the qualifying and the race is going to be clear. So the race times are going to be slightly different. So let's see if we can get one lap in, and then we can see what sort of times we're going to have to compete against. Just remember, we've put the AI difficulty up 5% as well. And this circuit is fantastic, one of my favourite circuits ever. I like racing around this on the MotoGP circuit games and obviously in the cars as well. It's just awesome. It's got everything, twists and turns, long straights, and it's just in an awesome area in Italy as well. I'm definitely going to be visiting here one year, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. Right, let's see if we can get to that first corner. We've got into there a little bit too hot, but this is just going to be a first lap just to see how far away we are from the pace of the AI. And just try and hold it nice. Now, we haven't altered anything on the bike for this race. I'm going to just see how we go. Now I know how the bike handles, and it's never very grippy on the first lap. But I am liking the tyre model on this game. When I did the first couple of laps on the first impressions video, if you haven't checked that out, it was really interesting to see how quick the soft tyres wear out. Now, luckily we're on the medium compound for the Red Bull rookies, but when we get onto the Moto3, it's going to be very interesting, because I might bump up the laps as well to see how those tyres last. Oh, just made a little bit of contact there. I do apologise. Can we get around the outside of him? And yes, we managed to get around the outside. Right, now these qualifying sessions are only 15 minutes. And this is quite a long circuit, so this is going to be, I think, over 2 minutes a lap, I think. So this gets nice and turned in on this section. And again, we're not hitting the apexes. We're a little bit, we are struggling. It does understeer quite a lot. For a bike that is light, and you can throw this into the turns, it doesn't handle the greatest on the default setup. And that's not too bad through there. Right, final corner. And this corner can be very tricky. The amount of times I've been leading races online and I've binned it on this corner and gone straight into the catty litter. So we've got to take this corner at a decent pace as well. That's not too bad. And let's see what sort of time we're going to get. And hopefully this won't be a bad lap, because we don't want to go too many laps. Oh, 2 minutes 8 seconds, 0.9. Right, so that is the qualifying session over, and we were actually the quickest with our first lap. But like I said, the conditions of the race are going to be a lot hotter, so that may change. But we'll just have to see. If we didn't get a great start in the last race off the grid, so let's see if we can better that. But I'm really looking forward to this. This is a fantastic circuit, so here we go.
All motorcycle race fans tuning in, today's race is being held in the hills of Tuscany, where the Italian Grand Prix is about to start. The skies over the track are clear of clouds, and the latest weather reports forecast temperatures in line with the seasonal average. On to go now until the Italian Grand Prix here in Mugello, one of the most challenging and spectacular tracks in the entire championship.
Right, so here we go with race 2 in Italy around the Mugello circuit. We've got first place on the grid. Can we get a decent start? And oh god, I'll just change the camera. Don't want to be doing that. And off we go! Oh, not the greatest start gain. Are we going to get beaten into that first corner? We've got to hold a decent line. It's really important we start well. And let's just try and hold it. We've got someone coming up the side of us. And this corner is very, very tricky. Right, slow it down. And no, we've just overrun the corner. We've gone a little bit too deep. And we're going to have, oh, we've got one rider that's managed to get past us, but we've managed to just cut in before anyone else got past. Let's just try and just keep those lines nice and tight. And that's nicely done through there. Oh, onto the apex. Oh, we just ran it a little bit too much over there, but we've managed to get a good drive out there anyway, and we're back into the lead. Right, let's try and hold this nice and tight. And oh, don't, he's just niggling at my back wheel. Don't you dare take me off. And the AI are very aggressive, I've noticed. When they want to try and pass, they will just keep on bumping into you. Right, let's just try and hold it tight through this section. This section is very, very fast. And again, he's trying to come around the outside. Oh, they really don't. And he's trying to force his way through. But we're just managing to close the door. Is he going to try and overtake here? No, he's not. And we've managed to take a little bit of a lead through that section. We carried a decent speed. Right, let's try and carry a nice pace through here. And let's see what the times are in these conditions. It's much clearer, and like I said, the temperatures will make a big difference to the lap times. Let's see if we can get nice and tight into this turn. We seem to be pretty good on this sector. That's nicely done, nice and smooth. And I think you're going to get a little bit more tyre wear in this race because of some of the turns and the temperatures. So let's see how long the tyres last in this race and see what the times are like. Right, final corner. Oh god, right onto the apex. Don't want to be doing that. And hold it. And hopefully they won't be able to get any slipstream on us. And we've managed to pull away, so we're doing okay considering we put the AI level up. So that is the first lap out the way. And that was a 2 minutes and 12 seconds. But it's on the second lap we're going to see what sort of times we're going to be able to achieve in these conditions. Right, let's see if we can do better on this corner. And again, we've gone in there a little bit too hot. We've gone really deep into that corner. Wow, we really overshot that. But luckily, we had a little bit of a lead, so no one managed to take advantage of that. But they've caught up. They're not far behind. I can hear them behind us. And there's 3 of them again. So I think it's the same 3 riders that we battled with in the first round. So let's just try and keep it steady. And they're only, oh, the time's just come up. So they're only a second behind. And that is not a lot. Right, let's just try and keep it steady through here. Get nice and turned in. Oh, that was much better through there. And turning over, just backing off the throttle, get it turned in, and again, nicely done. And we're doing really, really well. This is a good start to the race. And it's always, I find sometimes I struggle to lead races. Sometimes I prefer to follow because you've got to set the pace. And I think they've just closed the gap slightly at that last split time, and we just overshot those corners. We're just not getting set up right for the turns. We need to get better at that. Sometimes I just don't feel the brakes on this game. The brakes, I'm just going to have to get used to. I'm not getting as much feedback from the brakes on this bike as I was on some of the faster bikes I've been on this game, but it will come with time. You get used to it. Right, so the gap is 0.7, so they've closed it. We did have a second lead, so we're not pulling away. Let's see what sort of time we can get. Oh, that was much better on that final corner. And slowly over. Oh God, look at that! Even on lap 2, just trying to put the power down, and the rear was moving around like anything. Right, let's see if we can get a decent lap time in and over the finish line, and we've done a 2 minutes 4.6. So that is not bad. Oh, and we've been beaten, so the bike, one of the bikes behind us is just beating our time. So they're on the pace, and we've overshot the corner completely there. Wow, again, just not feeling the brakes, and we've lost the position. Can we get turned in? Oh, just holding him. And again, turning over. Can we hold him? No, he's gone straight through, but he's gone in there a little bit hot, so we've managed to do the flip back move on him there. And so I overshot that first corner, and then he went and done the second one. Right, is he going to try and overtake again? No, I think we should be okay. Oh no, he's coming for me. Oh my God, he's just so aggressive. He almost had me off then. Right, let's just try and hold it here. Is he going to try and overtake on this section? Oh, we're under pressure now, and he's going to go on the outside. He's gone on the outside. Is he going to manage to hold it? And yes, he's made the overtake. But can we switch underneath him here and try and hold it? And we've just managed to take the lead again, but we're under a lot of pressure here. The rider behind us has got slightly more pace. I think he's set a faster lap time than us, so we're going to have to try and push it harder. And again, just feeling that rear, just not as grippy anymore. So even after a couple of laps, the tyre wear on these mediums not that great. I think when we get to doing sort of 7 or 8 laps, it's going to be a challenge. I think we might have to use the hard compound when we get on the bigger bikes. I mean, we can't do that on these bikes obviously, but yeah, the compounds, they do wear down pretty quickly. Let's keep it nice and turned in. Let's open the throttle, and let's see if we can just extend that lead. And oh, I don't think oh, the positions behind us have changed. So there's been a few overtakes behind us, which is always good. And oh, we were slightly slower, and the gap is only 0.4. So let's see if they make a challenge into this section. We need to nail this final corner. Again, we're just overshotting it, but that wasn't as bad as the last lap. But I think all 3 of those bikes behind us have closed the gap. Let's just be careful. Tyre is on for probably about 50%. Still okay, but we've just got to be careful we don't overdo it. Right, slow it down, get turned in, and the gap is 0.9, so we have slightly pulled away, and that is a good thing on the final lap. Right, and oh, we just overshot that, not as tight as we would have liked. Again, but you will see some. Oh God, there you go, just trying to put the power down. You will see some of the grip, and some of the lines are not going to be as good as the tyres start to wear. The times are going to drop as well, and it's just out of all the riders who manages the tyres the best. Let's keep nice and steady through there, and again, wasn't the greatest, so we're still managing to hold that lead. So we've upped the AI level, and we're still managing to do okay. I think we might go one more round on this level, and then we will bump it up again. That's nicely done. Let's just see if we can keep it steady through here. Nicely Nice and smooth through there. And all the close the gap is only just under half a second. I think one of these guys are going to make a move on us. Right, let's keep it steady. There's loads of overtaking going on behind us. And, oh, there's been a crash. There's been a crash, and I think he's taken on the other two out. Oh my god, I reckon that guy made a dive bomb and took the other two off as well. So that was 3 of them that crashed on the same corner, and we take the win. Fantastic. Oh, that was a bit of a fail, but there you go. We win the race around Mugello, and I don't think we had the fastest lap, but we did enough, and we move on to the next round. Right, so that is another 25 points, and we're top of the leaderboard by 14 points. That is an awesome start to this career. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, share the videos, because it's really important you get this series out there. I want this to be a fantastic career and a massive walkthrough on the channel. It's going to be a long one as well, because we're going to be working our way through all the different categories. There's going to be some historic challenges thrown in another series. There's going to be some online content. I'm going to be doing the update videos. There's going to be review videos. There's going to be loads coming from this game, so please stay tuned. And obviously we've earned some more points in that race as well, so we move on to the next challenge, and I think we go to the Netherlands and Assen, another fantastic circuit. So I will see you in the next episode, guys. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button, and I will see you very, very soon.